I mean, I know the whip Nae Nae is old, but
You want to show me?
Well, I don't really know how to do it. I might need you to show me.
Hey everybody, it's Charles. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys all know I had my own personal transformation. I lost over 100 pounds, reversed my diabetes. I'm a whole new person now. And for me, it's all about helping others, paying it forward and helping other people, right? So Joy is here. Say hi, Joy.
Hi, everyone.
I'm super excited that you're here because we've been friends for a while now. When I first moved to New York, I met Joy. The past weekend, we hung out together and
Yes.
You shared something with me and I thought that it was so beautiful and I was like, Joy, we have to share this with other people.
Mm-hmm.
You basically came to me and you're like, Charles, I want to talk to you and I want to share something that's very personal. And I was like, I applaud you, because you're very vulnerable. And I think when you're vulnerable, that's when we can actually heal and that's when the healing process begins.
Yes.
And you basically told me that I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. And I want you to give one that's watching a little story of your backstory and what you mean by when you say I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I'm Joy. I am a makeup artist, and I currently live in New York City. Kind of have been dealing with some things that I wanted to share, but I have been really nervous to share.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just for some reason, I just felt like Charles was the person that I wanted to share it with.
Mm-hmm.
And so sitting there, we were just talking over dinner, and I decided to share with him that right now I'm currently battling rheumatoid arthritis,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely changed my life, and I'm ready to heal from it. And I wanted to see or to talk to Charles and see what I can do to, just heal from my RA, and then also possibly serve as an inspiration to others.
Yeah, totally. And I told Joy, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. We didn't even plan anything. It came all so organically.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like, wow, this can help so many people. And
Yes.
I know that through my own journey, when you share it, when you
Mm-hmm.
share with other people your shadows or things that you might be ashamed of, it opens this up, you're almost bringing light to some darkness, and it allows you to heal.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel that you're alone, because a lot of people feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
Whether you have arthritis or any other things that you're struggling with, it might be, addictions to drugs, to food, to bad relationships, all these things are the same thing. It stems from the same problem, and it comes back to forgiveness and also self-love, self-worth,
Yes.
and how to love ourselves back, because there's so many conditionings or things that have happened in our past lives, or when we were growing up, for example,
Yeah.
our environment that actually, dictates our mental outlook and also our belief systems.
Yes.
And that brings us to where we are today. And we all have to realize that it doesn't happen overnight. This whole journey of where we gotten to now, it didn't happen overnight. So it's going to be a process, and we have to be
Yes.
patient with ourselves. And I share with you, Joy, my non-negotiables. Remember we
Yes.
talked about it? We're
Yeah.
okay, so if you really want to change your life and transform, you need to get clear about why.
Yeah.
It can't be something that is vain or I just want to lose weight, I just want to fit into this dress or this suit. No, it has to be something bigger and better. And that was one of the homework assignments I gave
Yes,
you.
yes.
And we haven't spoke for at least a week now, so I'm curious to see what you came up with, and let's share it with everybody.
So one of the things that we talked about was definitely the 5 non-negotiables. Charles lives his life with a non-negotiable list, and that was definitely very helpful to me because I never thought about that. So one of the things I decided was to go home and do my non-negotiable list, and the first thing on there was to wake up early.
Okay.
Because sometimes I have a hard time doing that.
Okay.
I tend to be the person that wants to wait to the very end to get out of bed.
I'm sure you're not the only one, because I used to be the same way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How has that changed your life, just waking up?
Oh my gosh, it's I feel like when I get out of bed now, I feel like I have a purpose. And because a lot of times with the RA, and one of the things with RA is that it's an autoimmune disorder. So your joints and your muscles, they hurt basically. It's the worst I've gotten is that when it was really, really bad, I was almost bedridden from it. I almost couldn't walk from it. So some days are better than others, and now I'm doing better, but I want to get to that point where I'm over even that hump. So it's been times when I feel like I'm walking on glass basically. or that glass is in my joints, and it's excruciating pain. So anyways, so the waking up early really helps me because it makes me like get out of bed with a purpose and not sit in bed and be depressed. You know,
it's great
because you can get depressed from it.
Oh, totally. When you're staying inside a little bedroom and not doing anything, you feel dissatisfied, you feel helpless, you feel like, what am I doing with my life, right? So what else is on your non-negotiables?
So also drinking water, because I know that water is definitely something that I know it's something I don't get enough of, and I know like now I'm like it's time to up my water intake so my muscles feel even better. I want to listen to one positive YouTube or podcast a day.
Yes,
Charles got me on that.
Yes, it's so important, right?
It is.
Before you go to your social media, before you check your emails, before you do anything, I just infuse my brain with positive energy, positive thoughts, because when you go outside in the real world, you're not going to find inspiration everywhere. There's going to be things that come your way and just throw you off the rack.
Yeah.
But you need to get your mind ready. And we talked about this. It's not just going to the gym, just like you go to the gym for your muscles, you know, you build your muscles, you have spiritual muscles, and those are your thoughts.
Yes.
How you combat these negative thoughts, that's going to help you. You know, we talk a lot about food and how food is healing, but it's not just about the food, and that's why it's so important. And I love that you taken this new non-negotiable to really focus on your mind.
Yes.
Because what you think is what you become, and all these things create your reality.
Yeah, and so the last two are I want to eat a green salad every day. Green leafy vegetables I know are definitely
adding some sort of greens,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
And then also a green juice a day as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
Those are good. How are you
Thank
doing
you.
so far? So it's been...
I feel like it's definitely I'm doing better. I mean, of course, you know, I'm not 100%, but I feel like it's just my mind is starting to shift.
You're training it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it becomes, once you have your non-negotiables, it's almost like waking up and brushing your teeth, right? So it's like you don't even think about it. You just know, I gotta brush my teeth, I gotta take a shower. It's things that are ingrained, and if you set yourself up for success, those things are gonna ripple, and then those little changes are gonna have huge impacts on your health.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your backstory, like how were you diagnosed? What was that wake-up call like? And what do you feel got you there? You know, what are some things that has been blocking you that you feel like is blocking you from being your best?
Okay. Well, I was diagnosed. I'm not sure exactly the date. I'm not a good date person, but I know it was some years ago. It's probably at least 5 years ago. I woke up one morning and my wrist hurt, and I thought it was carpal tunnel, and I was like, okay. So I went and got one of the little carpal tunnel things for my wrist, and it just wasn't getting any better. And then the other wrist started hurting, so I'm walking around with 2 carpal tunnel things, and it's just not helping. And I just started feeling like it started traveling up my arm, basically into my shoulder. And at one point, I couldn't. The most I could reach up was like this, because it felt like I couldn't even like lift my hand. And then it's just like my knees started hurting, my feet everything started just like hurting. But it wasn't just like a hurt like, oh, it just hurts. It was like okay, I don't know like what's going on with me. Like it was like I'm in pain and I think something's seriously wrong with me.
Wow.
You know, so I just so then of course I went to the doctor, and then that's when they diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. You know, I when it first happened, I mean, of course you go through all the emotions, you go through anger, sadness,
accepting
it. Exactly. It took me a long time to accept it, though. I can't even lie.
Wow.
It did. Because I was really angry, because I was just like, why did it have to happen to me? Because, you know, I feel like I try to live my life in a, you know, like a positive way, but I still was afflicted by it. But at the same time, I also had to be honest with myself and be like, I did not eat the best way, the healthiest way growing up, or even like into, you know, like into my adulthood. You know, I ate a lot of sugar, I ate a lot of, you know, bad stuff, and I was just like, you know, but then you start to feel the guilt when it comes, because you were like, well, if only I just took care of myself, this wouldn't have happened, you know. So I just kind of went through all that, you know.
Yeah, that's really great that you shared that, because No, it's so true. Like all these things, like we have to go through all these emotions to actually accept what is going on.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I feel like my like rock bottom at that time I couldn't see it, but was my biggest lesson in life and transformed my life so much. I would not be here if it wasn't for that. So it's like, I feel like now you had some time away from that initial wake up call, you can actually see like, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Sometimes like, something horrific is happening in your life, whatever it may be. It might be a diagnosis, or someone died in your family, or you got fired from that job. All those things, yes, at that moment, it can be very hard to accept and, think positively. But when you look at the grander things of like the bigger picture, you realize like, whoa, the universe is trying to tell me something. I was going down a bad route. I could have died, but I changed my life. And that's like the wake up call. It's almost like a second chance.
Yes,
and if you're willing to take it,
Mm-hmm.
the universe will support you. It's not going to be easy, but you commit yourself, and that journey will lead you back to self-love and having loving relationships with everyone else.
Yes.
Right?
And that's the thing, is like my rock bottom, I was like, at one point I was like, I said earlier, I was almost bedridden, and my rock bottom came because New York, you live with roommates, it is what it is. And my roommate was having to help me, and I was just like in the bed, like thinking like, is this what my life is going to be now? Like, am I bedridden with a caretaker? And then that's when I just was like, you know what, let me start researching like what I can do. And and then that's when I started coming across like other like I try to like look at natural ways to heal, and I started looking at other programs, and I came across this Patterson program. He's really good, and he healed himself from RA. But then also, so I started doing really well, and I had actually lost a lot of weight. I lost like 100 pounds, and I was doing better. But then my second rock bottom hit. My brother was killed.
Yes, you told me about this.
Yeah, and that's when it sent it like out of control, and I gained like half of the weight back. And that's when I just was like, and I didn't realize how much I was dealing with my brother's death emotionally. Like at first I thought I was fine, and that I was, all well and good. And then it was like, death happens, because I tend to be like that person, like, the universe, things happen and stuff, but I just didn't realize just how much I was dealing with, and it just sent it back into a spiral downward. And then that's when it was harder for me to get back on track, and then that's when I was like, I need to talk to somebody, and that's when I talked to Charles.
I'm so happy that you shared it with me, because it's not easy, and I know that anyone who has to deal with a loved one dying is never easy. So you're not alone. And it's like, it's so beautiful that you're sharing this, because so many people can benefit. There are people who are still mourning. It's like a whole process. You don't ever get over the mourning death of someone that you love. So I appreciate you like sharing that part, but I feel like you're ready. And like, I know when I met you, I told you, Joy, I was like, Joy, like I meet so many people through events and all these people who want my help, and sometimes they're not ready. And like when I met you and we had like a really like one-on-one connection, it was just like you were sharing this, and I was like, Joy, you're ready. Like you're ready. I can feel it. I can see it in your eyes. I see so much light in you, and I see so much potential that you had untapped, right? And that it's like, when I was in the same position, I just wanted someone to recognize that, but I had to recognize it within myself to get myself back up. And it's like, we have two different choices right now. We can go down the bad route of like shame, guilt, feeling bad, feeling angry at the world, or we can accept what has happened and move forward and be like, okay, like this has happened. I'm not a victim. I am an empowered individual. I'm gonna heal myself. I'm gonna show up in the world to be the best version of myself and share my journey to help heal others. And I think that was the main thing that helped me, was that when you connect your transformation with other people, it's no longer about yourself. So you do it because you feel like there are people rooting for you. And it's just like, I want to be I want to be that person that like inspires others, and then just like I just want to be that person that inspires others. Totally. And I was in the same position when I did that, and I was like, okay, if I want to inspire others, if I want to help others, I have to help myself first. And it's not a selfish act. It's more like, I love myself. I'm going to help heal myself so I can offer more value and actually be of service to other people. If I am like, you know, tired, sick and tired all the time, how can I go show up? You see like how many events I'm doing. If I don't take care of myself, how can I help other people? So it's very important to have boundaries and to be like, okay, no, I need to take time for myself. But I want to hear from you, Joy. What were those things that you attached your transformation with? Why? What is your why?
Well, my why is, of course, to heal from my RA. My why is also that I want to accomplish things that personal goals that I've always set out, because like I was saying earlier, I'm a makeup artist. And
a very talented makeup artist.
Well, thank you. But the RA I feel like it did set me back, because it started becoming progressively harder for me to do certain jobs. And,
did you have to share this with your team?
Well, that's the thing. It was like I was so into shame and so into not wanting to be vulnerable and so scared to share.
Because you were afraid that it was going to hold you back, because you know, when there's jobs, you want to be ready for those jobs. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't know if I should send her out because she's so-and-so.
Exactly. So it just made me very nervous to share. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I should do. You know what I mean? And so I kind of lived in that shame and that, you know, scaredness for a while. And I don't want to live like that any longer.
It's not a good place to live in. I think when you do everything out of love, everything is in alignment, right? Everything starts rippling back. Whatever you put out is what you give back. So it's so important for us to like be conscious and aware of what energy are we putting out into the world. If it's nervous energy, that's all you're gonna get back.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about some things that you have changed as far as your life, or what are some things that you're struggling with, and how can I help you as far as like food wise or exercise, or talk to me.
I mean, I guess, you know, like, I guess I struggle with all of that. Like, you know, I'm definitely trying to do better with my eating habits and my food. But of course, I could always do better. And also, like, I think the RA kind of got me a little nervous to exercise. So I don't know what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. So I'm just kind of, because I don't want to hurt myself even more.
For sure. I think what you can do to start, and this will be like a homework assignment, because I know, Joy, you told me you have a gym pass.
Yes.
Girl, you know how many people want a gym pass and they can't afford one?
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of that. I want you to just go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. On slow, just walk. If you can walk for 10 minutes a day, progressively increase that, because that's how I started. I didn't go to the gym, start exercising right away. I started walking in my neighborhood, you know, but I don't know, you know, I don't want you to walk in your neighborhood. Well, go to the gym. You'll be inspired because there's all these people working out. And then just do 10 minutes. Start 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Listen to the positive things when you wake up early. Make a point, like go to the thing. You're gonna feel great because the endorphins are gonna go, your blood are flowing, and you're just gonna feel good about yourself. That builds inner confidence, because it's like, oh, I set out to do this today. I walk 5 minutes on a treadmill. Baby steps, baby steps. That's gonna grow. And you gotta change your mind of what is possible. And I know that you have arthritis, but walking is okay. Walk with 5 minutes just to see how you feel. If you don't want to walk, go on the little bicycle for like 5 minutes. And don't even do heavy weights, but just commit yourself to that for a week, or do 3 times a week and see how you feel.
Well, that'd be great, because one of the things that I think you get stuck with in your mind is that you think that because something hurts that you shouldn't move. And I think that you know, like not moving is like probably the worst thing you could do.
Yeah. So it's like strengthening yourself. And I'm going to hook Joy up with some products as far as like some protein powder, some things to keep you healthy. And we're gonna keep checking this in, because the whole idea to do this is that we wanted to share this with the world. Because we know that there are other people struggling with other things, but I want everyone to feel that we are a community and we're gonna do this together. I want you guys to leave your comments below to be like, what are your non-negotiables? What are some things that you're struggling with? And then root for Joy. Go follow her on Instagram. I'll leave all of her info below and like just have that conversation. Keep her up to date. I feel like we're in this together. I always feed off of positive energy. Like when I see something like a great video, I send it to Joy. I'm like, Joy, you have to watch this video.
He does.
And like if I see a good quote, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. And if I know that I can bring more joy to other people, it's awesome. We're gonna call this series Finding Joy.
Yes.
Finding joy, but then also joy within all of you guys. So you guys, let us know what you want to see next. I'm gonna keep following up with Joy. We want to go to the farmer's market. I want to hook her up with like an acupuncturist and like a holistic doctor so we can get everything done. I'm not a doctor, so I want to hook you up with actual real doctors and things, people who can do blood work and all these things. And we're gonna keep, you know, following your journey. And I want this to be almost like a commitment. Like you already set this out to the world, this positive and like vulnerable energy. And I want you to see what can happen when you're vulnerable. You know, that's when you can heal.
And one of the things I mean, that's definitely one of my goals, is that I want people to see that just because the doctors say one thing doesn't, and that they say that because RA is supposed to be incurable, I just believe that I'm going to cure myself,
and I know
that
you
it's
are
going to happen.
And I love that when Joy came to me, that she was very open to the holistic approach. She's like, Charles, like, you know, this is what the medical doctor, the Western world, and we're not picking sides, but she's picking options. She's getting more research, and she's researching herself, and that's something that you take back. You're an empowered individual. You make your own choices. If someone tells you one way, you can go and research and get other opinions. You don't need to be scared, because, you know, when you get diagnosed, you're going to be very scared in that circumstance. And sometimes that fear is what feeds the medical system. It's like, oh, you're scared, you're going to get surgery. And then you're like, I'll do whatever, you know? But if you're like calm and you're like collected, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go, I feel like there's another alternative way. And I think it's so smart and so great that you're open to these approaches. And I'm excited to see what we could come about. And I would love for Joy to start like a vlog and just start like sharing some of your, we should do that. And then I think we'll share it. And we can like even via Skype, because I'm not here all the time, but we can follow up and we can keep people updated. I think that would be really great for keeping you consistent and like, you know.
I just want to say thank you, because honestly, after our talk, I really feel like a fire is ignited in me again, and I feel like it's going to happen, and I'm starting to get that fire back, you know?
I'm so proud of you, because this is like the first step. But I want to acknowledge to everyone who's going through any journey that it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a process. There's going to be times when we fall down. There's going to be, you know, things that come our way, but it's how we stay committed. And that's why knowing your why is so important. And that's what's going to keep you going when you're like hurting, or you're like in pain, or you don't want to do something, when you don't want to wake up, you want to go to the gym, you don't, you know, you don't want to listen to positive, or like something happen, or relationships. But I trust that the universe will support you if you are committed to your well-being and your transformation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you.
We're good. Bye, guys.
Bye.